Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Paula and today let's talk about the Polène'S most recent price increase and what in general annoys me in this situation. I couldn't just drop this topic because if you have been on my channel, I have made quite many videos regarding Polène pieces. I do own a few bags from them as well. And I feel like on the contrary of how the social media is seeing Polène, I've actually truly enjoyed the brand, or I enjoy the brand. Let's not maybe get carried away. And as we all who have been fans of Polène, we did receive an email in the end of 24 that was sharing in advance that they are planning on having a price increase due to the material costs and probably inflation and whatever is happening in the market right now. And I want to share my own thoughts about this topic. I did take a few screenshots before the price increase and now that there is a current one, just to kind of compare of what type of damage happened. And then at the end, I will share what truly annoys me about all of this. If we start with the whole price increase situation. So I don't think there's anything new that brands are having price increases. Polène is definitely not the only brand in the world that is going through price increases in the beginning of the year. I think that's like the classic time for brands to raise their prices. And this is not the first time for Polène to have price increases. I don't remember exactly, was it in the beginning of 24 or maybe a bit earlier? But I feel like Polène had a quite drastic price increase in the near past, so to say, where people actually started to be really annoyed with the brand. I feel like before that big jump in their prices, people actually were just sharing the joy of what is Polène and the fact that the kind of price level was very decent for a leather bag, handcrafted with good quality leather made in Europe, in Spain to be more precise. And having a Parisian brand and design and all of that. I feel like before that previous price increase, everyone were kind of on the Polène train. And then that happened, the big bump in the prices, and people suddenly kind of changed their mind. And I'm not saying that it's only about the price, because majority of the comments are also revolving around the quality of these bags as well as the level of customer service. I have addressed all these topics also in one of my previous Polène videos, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail of what I think about those elements, but basically after the previous price increase, a lot of like negative PR started coming towards Polène through social media. And about that price increase that happened before this one, I at least don't remember getting any type of email, so I don't think they kind of told it in advance in such a open way as they did this time. Well, maybe they had done their lesson, I don't know, watched and listened and read all those reviews of Polène during the past year and decided to tackle this in a bit different way. So they sent out an email in the end of 24 that there is going to be a price increase on January 6th. Well, what happens to people when they get that type of email? They go shopping, I would presume, because everyone has the kind of burning feeling that if they had something from Polène on their wish list, they definitely want to catch that before the price increase. And I think, myself included, we were all a bit scared that a similar type of jump in the prices would happen. That happened the last time, especially now that they are advertising that it is happening, plus that small tiny change that happened during 24 is that LVMH actually invested money in Polene. And I think the kind of image of LVMH kind of reflects to especially Louis Vuitton and their price increases that have in some cases been quite massive. So I'm assuming that there was a tad of like, yikes, it's gonna happen now to Polene as well. So, I mean, probably people went a bit shoppy. Plus, it was Christmas. It was end of the year, the holiday season. I would imagine that this price level is quite popular also for Christmas presents and so on. Well, I was not completely innocent in all of this. I also have actually at least one, maybe even two Polene bags on my radar, but at least one. And the one that I was kind of eyeing, I definitely had already made up my mind I'm gonna get that. And especially when that news came about, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna buy it now. Well, I couldn't, out of stock. Well, we'll get back to this out of stock topic more also later. But what I could see was that quite many items actually were out of stock, especially in probably the more popular colors and so on. So at least for me, like the sweat was kicking in of like, okay, I'm not gonna get the bag or bags that I want before the price increase. So let's just see where we end up and if it kind of goes over my limit already. Well, January 6th came and I happened to check Polène'S website. I think it was on the 7th because to be fair, I totally forgot about that on January 6th because it was a public holiday here and I was doing something completely different than just like hanging on my computer. So on January 7th, I went on their website and started looking. And I first thought in my mind was like, oh, did I remember incorrectly? Was it so that it's updating on the 8th or something? Because I couldn't really see any difference on the pricing. Well, I don't know why, what other reason Polene would have had to make this announcement that there is going to be a price increase, then trying to kind of boost up their end of the year sales. Because if you haven't yet seen those prices, the increases were minimal. They were like 10 euros, 20 euros here and there, not even on all bag models, which I think is fairly interesting. Although they did mention, at least in the email, that they're gonna increase the prices on some of their bags. So they did say that it's not on all. But I found it super interesting that this increase was actually quite small. And probably it is actually reflecting the price increases on the market when it comes to materials and wages and such, because it wasn't that bad, to be honest, in my opinion. I'll just put some examples on the screen here. This Polene numero 1 mini that I have had now 3.5 years, 2.5 years. Well, this bag that I have had, the price actually didn't even go up with this bag. Can you believe it? I've always thought that this is one of their most popular ones, or at least the most like recognizable. At least it was for a while. So no increase here. This Sime, I don't know how to say it, but this super popular tote bag that is now kind of up and up out there with all the influencers went up with what, 20-30 euros? Not really that bad, I have to say. There is this numero 10 bag as well, not a big increase. The most expensive Polene bag, the Mochi bag, didn't go up at all. If I remember correctly, I will obviously have screenshots on the screen where you can check the pricing. But yeah, so I was shocked. The bags that I am interested in, the Node bag, there wasn't really anything major. Thanks for that, because this was out of stock all of December. I think it was already in pre-order in November when I was first looking at this, because I have to now share a story when it comes to Polene and this bag. I was in Paris in the beginning of November, and although I did come back with 3 new handbags from the kind of more luxury sector, I had in my mind that I would go to Polene and also purchase this Node bag. Well, there is a reason why you haven't seen an unboxing on my channel, because it was like absolutely crazy when it comes to Polene in Paris. First, we were walking in this Saint-Germain-des-Prés area where the department store Le Bon Marché is, for instance. So that's the only department store that is actually selling Polene. Otherwise, it's only Polene's own boutiques. So we were just in that area, and I was like, hey, well, I could just now go and buy the bag as we are close to the department store. And there was like a queue that was maybe like 2 hours long or something. It was just like, okay, no, thank you. And then we went to I think the original Polene boutique on is it Rue Vivienne? If I might be not remembering the address. It's not that one, but anyway, their main boutique. I think there is now a second boutique as well. But anywho, we went to the boutique that I have purchased my other 2 bags that I have bought from Paris, from Polene. And that store actually opened on Sundays at, I think, 10, if I remember correctly, 10 a.m. We were there at 10:03, and the line, it was kind of already in 3 different parts because it couldn't go on the pedestrian streets. They had kind of needed to cut it into different segments and different areas, and that would have also been around 2-hour wait. So honestly, I didn't do that. I was just like, whatever, I'll order online. Ha ha ha, little did I know I couldn't do that because out of stock. So yeah, the hype is real in Paris now for Polene. That was not so nice for me. But anywho, so of course when I had like my eyes on this Node bag, I was truly a bit scared of like what's gonna happen to the price. Luckily, nothing super bad, and I can still keep dreaming of this bag, and maybe it will come in stock someday. But yeah, so I think this price increase wasn't really that bad. And if it wasn't that bad, like what was the motivation to actually warn the customers other than they just wanted to sell their stuff in the end of last year? But I can't really blame them. Like the lines outside the stores, honestly, personally, I've never needed to queue in, but I have heard that there has been queues also before. Maybe like, I don't even want to give an estimate, but anyway, there has been queues before. Personally, I've been lucky to avoid them. But this was just like completely on another level, like completely on another level. So good for them. And now we're getting to the annoying part of this thing. And please don't take me too seriously, but I mean, it is annoying. And it's the fact that everything is out of stock. Like, okay, not everything, but the most popular colors are out of stock. They have such a limited amount of bags that are currently like available to buy on their website. Obviously, this is the time when I'm filming, when this is coming out. Maybe it's already different. But anywho, I was pissed. I was so annoyed that they are basically encouraging to take advantage of their old prices, but they don't have proper stock. They don't have proper stock before the holiday season, and they don't have proper stock before a price increase that they are advertising. What type of business is this? But yeah, I think that's just kind of my 2 cents about the Polène'S most recent price increase. Of course, for some, it might still be a shock that some price goes up. For me, I feel like that's normal. That happens with everything else in life. Why wouldn't Polene do it? But I just can't really wrap my fingers around the fact that they decided to advertise this increase, guide people to go shopping on their stores and websites, and then not having proper stuff to sell. Oh, annoys me. I'm so annoyed. Okay, what are your thoughts about this price increase and in general about Polene? If you have been buying their bags before, has something changed your mind? Like, honestly, I'm still after one or two things, and then who knows what they're gonna bring out in the future. So I'm definitely, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I've never had any negative experience with Polène'S handbags, their quality, or anything. I've never needed to be in contact with their customer service. So unfortunately, that is something I can't really comment on. The service in the boutiques, whenever I've been able to go, has been fine. Like, polite, yes, but nothing like extravaganza. But I'm not really expecting that in this level of a store. So very helpful. And they've always brought out whatever I've decided to ask and so on. So no problems for me. I still love their designs. I love how kind of unique they are, but still very classic. And I mean, obviously, LVMH is now part of it. They made their first price increase and it wasn't that big. So yay! Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.